Hi everyone, today we are going to create multiple Spring microservices in one project from scratch without using Spring Initializr. This will teach us a deeper approach to Maven project management principles. In this tutorial, we are going to create an empty Java project which will serve as the parent model for our microservice projects. After that, we will create our microservice inside this parent module. We will build two independent microservices, service write and service read. These microservices will have basic REST capabilities to keep things simple. You can find more advanced software development methods on the tanhu-labs channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the tanhu-labs channel for more content. Let's get started. First, we need to create a simple Java project. Click on the New Project button on the IntelliJ IDEA welcome page. Select Java as the project type, then set the project name to tanhu-multi. Select Maven as the build system. In the advanced settings, set the group ID to dev.tanhu-multi. Finally, click the Create button. Now, we have an empty Java project. First, we need to specify that this project is a parent project. To do this, we must add two packaging fields with the value POM under the artifact ID field. In this project, we will use two different packaging types, POM and jar. What is POM? POM stands for Project Object Model. A POM-based project is typically used to define a parent POM or a multi-module project. It doesn't produce an executable or deployable artifact like a jar or var. Instead, it serves as a container for common configurations, dependencies, and plugin management for child projects. It's typically used in a parent project to manage configuration for multiple submodules. Next, we need to define the project's parent. Since this will be a Spring project, we should use the Spring Boot parent POM. Add a parent tag under the model version tag. Inside the parent tag, add artifact ID as Spring Boot starter parent, group ID as org.springframework.boot, version as 3.4.1. Additionally, let's add a name tag with the value tanhu-multi and add a description tag with a value tanhu-multi project. Then we must configure the build system. Since we are using Maven, we need to add a build section. Inside plugins, add a plugin tag and define your compiler. Add an artifact ID tag with the value Maven compiled plugin. That's enough for the parent project. Click the sync icon in IntelliJ IDEA, and Maven will install the necessary dependencies for our project. Now we are ready to create our Spring microservice. Since we don't need to src directory in the parent module, go ahead and delete it. To create a new microservice, right-click on the tanhu-multi project module, select New, and then choose Module. On the new module page, and type your microservice name as service write. Select your parent module, tanhu-multi, and in the advanced settings, set your group ID to dev.tanhu-multi.service.write. Then press the Create button. Now we are inside the service write POM XML file. As you can see, we have a parent field set to tanhu-multi. Add a packaging tag with the value jar. This is the most common packaging type for a regular Java project. It tells Maven to produce a jar file as the output of the build. The jar file can contain Java classes, resources, and metadata. It can be used as a library or a standalone application if it has a main method. Next, add a name tag with the value service write and a description tag with the value write service for tanhu-multi project. The name tag determines your Maven module name. If you change this name and press the sync icon, you will see the updated name reflected in the Maven section. For example, if we change the name from service write to high and sync, the change will be visible in the Maven modules. Now let's revert the change and sync again to restore the service write module. We can delete all properties tags because these are already defined in the parent POM XML file. Go back to the tanhu-multi POM XML file. you will see add modules tag that we did not add manually. Maven automatically added these tags to list the submodules of the project. You can define your project structure using this tag. In the Maven section, if you select group modules, you will see your service in a hierarchical structure. If you don't select group modules, all modules will appear on a single page. Now return to the service write POM XML file. We need to transform this Java project into a Spring Boot project by adding Spring dependencies. Add a dependencies tag. Inside this tag, define all the dependencies that we will use in the project with dependency tags. We will add Spring Boot Starter Web as our Spring dependency. Set artifact ID to Spring Boot Starter Web, group ID to org.springframework.boot. This is enough for this project. Next, we need to configure the Spring Boot build plugin. To do this, add a build section with plugins, and inside plugins, add a plugin section. Set artifact ID to Spring Boot Maven plugin. Group ID to org.springframework.boot, version to 3.4.1. Press the sync icon. The service write project is now ready. Go to the src directory and create a package named dev.tanhu-multi.service.write. Inside this package, create a Java class named Service Write Application. Add the Spring Boot application annotation above the class declaration. Add a main method, public static void main. This method initiates the Spring application context by calling Spring application.run, passing service application.class and args as arguments. We need to add a REST controller class to test our application. Create a write controller Java class inside the API package. Add the add-REST controller and request mapping API v1 writers annotations above the class declaration. In this class, define public response entity string writers method. Return response entity that OK hello writers. Add the get mapping annotation above the method declaration. This method stores a response entity with an HTTP status of OK and hello writers as its response body. Next, create a configuration file named application.yaml inside the resources directory. To avoid port binding exceptions, define the server port as 8500. That's all we need to add a microservice. To add the second one, we can repeat all these steps. To save time, I will speed up the video while setting up the service read microservice. Now we have two different microservices in one project. Service write once on port 8500 and service read once on port 8600. Next, we will test these microservices using a web browser. Go to the main classes and run the projects. Open your web browser and type localhost 8500 API v1 writers in the address bar. Then press enter. You should see the response hello writers. Then open a new tab and type localhost 8600 API v1 readers. Then press enter. You should see the response hello readers. We have successfully created multiple microservices in one project. You can modify these steps for your own application. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to the Tanhu Labs channel for more content. See you in the next video. Goodbye.